If I'm being very honest, the reason I got up from where I was sitting is because a bug flew right into me, and that was like my last straw, because it flew right into me very fast, and it just like landed on its back on the bench, and I couldn't sit back down there anyway because it was like right where I was sitting. So I'm gonna talk about what I was feeling while reading this. I have not done that well from the last video I made the last time I was talking about A Little Life. I'm a very slow reader, but for me, like even for me, this is like not good. I get stretches of time where I'm reading consistently and then stretches of time where I don't pick up the book. So it just like, it can take months, yeah, for me to finish a book, and it's really bad. I don't want to be judged for that at all. And that is me when I'm trying to get back into consistently reading anyway. So like, even if I'm going to be slow, at least I'm reading consistently but slowly. But regardless, I have been reading more these days, and I have gotten to like, I'm almost halfway through the book. And I know last time I said that this story wasn't devastating yet. Obviously, I was in the beginning of the book. And, you know, I'm starting to get the devastating aspect of this book. I'm starting to, you know, reach those dangerous waters. And it's kind of like, it's deep. I feel like I'm going to talk about the content of the book. I don't know if I'm really going to skirt around the storyline. This is not like a review, and I know even sometimes in reviews people don't really talk about what's happening in the book, but I never really liked reviews like that. I know like people are doing that so that like people can read it, but like I also kind of want to discuss the book for people who have already read it, or people who don't really care about spoilers, even if, or you know, whatever, or they're not going to read it. But I know last time I said I didn't like JB, and I feel like that was obviously the intention, because turns out JB actually does more in the book, and now the friendships have fallen apart. And the description and the writing of how the friendship fell apart, how I've gone to that part of the book where it's like he did the thing to Jude, the thing that made all their friendships fall apart. And I literally, when I was reading it, I was like, I could not believe what I was reading. I was speechless, and I cried a bit, but this isn't even like this. I feel like there's a lot more that I'm gonna cry about. But there was a specific paragraph in the book that I loved so much, and it was really painful. I think this is the part I that made me cry. But then also like the part of the book where JB was, you know, I feel like when I first started feeling those like first traces of like, oh, this is kind of moving me emotionally. Like the entire book was up until this point was beautifully written, but I wasn't really getting any serious thing pulling at my heartstrings. But then when it first started was when it started with JB and drugs, and I was like, oh wow, like this is getting sad, this is getting deep, because I don't know, something about drugs, I'm like, reading or watching a story about how drugs has ruined someone's life always gets me, because I feel like that it always kind of highlights this very tragic and very interesting duality that drugs have, where on the one side, and usually in the period before, in the beginning, it has, you know, this vibe of like being, you know, freeing and carefree and fun and cool and, you know, liberating and exciting. And then on the other side of the leaf, it's like something that just cripples people and makes them so helpless and like genuinely just ruins lives, and all of a sudden it's not so fun anymore. And so like with a character like JB, I could just see how that would be really sad, because he's like the exact type of character that I feel out of all of them, he'd start doing drugs for those reasons, like, oh, it's so liberating and cool, and then getting to the stage of like, oh, this is ruining my life, and getting miserable and helpless. But the paragraph that I read was this one. He could see JB's love for him in the paintings of him. He remembered one summer in Truro watching JB sketch, and he had known from the expression on JB's face, his little smile, and the lingering, delicate way his large forearm moved over the page, that he was drawing something he treasured, something that was dear to him. What are you drawing? He asked, and JB had turned to him and held up the notepad, and he had seen it was a picture of him, of his face. Oh, JB, he thought, oh, I will miss you. I just started crying. Like, what the? But I really enjoyed today. It started getting really hot, and that just started ruining my mood, and then the bugs are just coming out and everything. That's kind of like my dilemma with that, is like, I love the scenic views that I get when I go there to read, but then I'm also very, very scared of any and all animals in nature. So from the bugs to the ducks, thankfully where I was sitting, the ducks are far away, but I had some scary run-ins with a wasp and a dragonfly or two, but that wasn't too bothersome. But I kind of want to do this more often and just like go there more often, and spend more mornings like this, because I mean, I feel like I really enjoyed it, and I feel like I want to have more of these, make time out for more of these sessions, specifically in that park. I feel like they're very I feel like those are the most appropriate places where I can really just cut out distractions and really get into a book. And it's still summer, and while I do like winter and I'm so excited for the next time it's going to be winter, I still kind of want to enjoy the good things about summer, like being able to do that. I'm probably the type of person that would still go out and sit out in the cold with my jacket and read it outside in the park in the winter anyway, but like, you don't really get the same views, the same like mix of the sun shining on the trees and then the breeze that you do. So I wanted to do a little bit more of that, and yeah, I took a lot of videos and photos as well, and I'm still staying away from my smartphone for the most part. I'm just trying to enjoy the rest of summer in a very screenless way. Down or chained to your phone lately, don't let the opportunity pass you by this summer. Like, literally turn off your phone, get a book that you really want to read, delete your social media if you want to, and then get a book and just go somewhere outside where it's hot, or you could where it's sunny, but if it's too hot you can sit under a shade and just read. It's really, honestly, such a simple thing, but it is like the most healing. Ugh, that sounded so like hippie, but the most like just calming experience, and it's really fun. So yeah.